Breaking news, Twitter is breaking down. Every single Tom, Dick and Harry has been jumping on the story. Of course, we're talking about Viktor Gyökeres and the president. The news that comes out to say that he wants more money for Viktor Gyökeres, and there's totally breakdown. I cannot speak, I cannot breathe. And a lot of things comes down to the domino effect, from one account starting reporting it and to everyone jumping on the story until I come in and putting a lot of fires. I spent all day putting on fires on Twitter and X, and until Fabrizio Romano also comes in and put the big bomb, the big firebomb. So guys, let's talk about this crisis meeting, cool and composed. I am too knackered. There's too many information to actually do a live stream. So bear with me for this recording only. So guys, as per usual, you know what to do. This is Mick Ruby, the voice of reasoning. If you missed this channel before, you know, if you follow me, I always like to provide a little bit nuance closer to the fact, calling some BS out where it comes down to lazy journalism. As per usual, do not forget to like and subscribe. All right, so let's grab the bull by the horn and ride this transfer bullet. Send it.
And Garnacho!
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Will you be in the dugout at Old Trafford on Sunday? I will be here. Definitely.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. And Ruben Amorim was in the Sporting Lisbon dugout under Hugo Vienna and under also the Sporting president as well, that they had a gentleman's agreement a long time ago when he left. But now, according to Twitter, it's absolutely being a war on Twitter. Who is wrong, who is right? Some people, some faceless accounts saying, oh, well, this is like, you know, they want 100 million, and then Ben Jacobs comes in. And by the way, all respect to Ben Jacobs, he's been quite accurate when it comes to Saudi news. But if you watch Ben Jacobs on United Stand, whatever he's saying, it's just speculative. Like, you know, there's no real facts and substance in what's really going on. So where does this stem from? Right? A matter of fact, you know, the domino effects are trickling down from my neighboring channels as well that are simply reacting on the news. Let's have a look at what Adam had to say in Alice Talk Football, and the one and only Mark Goldbridge, who has the biggest fan channel in Manchester United history. Let's bring this to the stage and let's see.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on to your hats, everybody. It is all-out war with Viktor Gyökeres. He is actively trying to manufacture a move to Manchester United. I'm telling you this now. Going on strike or threatening to go on strike is definitely a way to make something happen with everything that's going on with Ruben Amorim, with everything else that's happening with his agents. But on top of that, now the president of Sporting has just come out and dropped an absolute bombshell onto this deal. And it is not good reading for Manchester United fans. It really isn't. It reads, threats, blackmail and insults don't work on me. I can confirm that Viktor Gyökeres will not leave for 60 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons. I never promised them that. The game his agent is playing is only making things worse. Holy shit.
Holy shit, Adam. Yes, holy shit. And this, we're going to dissect in where this actual tweet came from. But let's move on to my colleague, dear Alice. What do you have to say, Alice? Oh, no sound, Alice. No sound. Anyway, let's move to Goldbridge. I didn't catch this.
Could well be a marathon, is this Gyökeres development that we're getting overnight. So Portuguese reports, I read this on @UTD exclusive via Record in Portugal. Gyökeres has told Sporting he will never play for them again. The player is ready to go on strike and will not return for pre-season.
So players has told, you know, Record that he is not coming back. He's gone on strike. Basically, he already told everyone, the fans, that he was leaving due to the gentleman's agreements. He went on summer holiday.
Relationship between the club and player is broken. United, Arsenal, Juventus remain interested. This is not good, actually. You know, this is not good. No. He's definitely, I mean, it's such a shame. It's such a shame because Sporting, and I really do hope that this is not the case, because
well, in a way, Mark, it's not the case.
I think that when you look at it, we want a smooth transfer window, and a smooth transfer window will still take time. We have a good relationship with Sporting.
100%. We have a good relationship with Sporting and Hugo Vienna, the Sporting director. We're going to dissect into the actual root cause into this gentleman's agreement and what it means.
Sporting is a fantastic club, and I think it's such a shame when, I mean, look, it's not new, but the problem for us, and let me just say that straight away, the problem that we have is that good relationship with Sporting, Amram and Gyökeres have a good relationship, get the money, do the deal, easy work.
Spot on, but it's not that easy.
This just complicates it, and I think it's such a shame because I've known about this gentleman agreement for a long time. You've known.
And I know it. Fabrizio Romano has been reporting. Everyone that's been reporting knows about the gentleman's agreement. And I'm going to go dive into the detail. What is this entitled in this gentleman agreement, legally binding?
Known about it. Basically, he's got a release clause of about 80 million. But there's always been this gentleman agreement that you can go for 62 million euros.
Yes.
Fabrizio's spoken about it. Ben Jacobs spoken about it. Everybody's spoken about it.
But it's only for certain clubs within the Premier League that's mentioned. Other clubs that comes that it's not part of the list is 80 million to 100.
So it's been well known for a long, long time. And I get the sense that Sporting are now saying they want 80 million because there's a few clubs that want him, or because he's had a good season. They've got every right to do that because he's under contract, but it just goes against, like, it's just not the way to behave. Don't shake on a gentleman's agreement and then change your mind. I mean, that's the whole point of a gentleman's agreement. It's like, it's meant to be binding, and it will sour the relationship. And you look at what he's done at Sporting in the last couple of years, and you look at the success that Sporting have had over the last couple of years. And as a fan of Sporting, you're going to be there going, where are my loyalties here then? Because they have to be with the club, but have my club behaved badly? And what about the last 2 years? And Gyökeres has been such a good player for us. It's just a bad way for this to happen. And I just hope that they can get in a room and resolve this for Manchester United's sake. But
yeah, get a room, Mark, and they will definitely resolve it. Like, you know, it was spot on what Mark was saying there as well. Like, you know what? This is negotiations one-on-one, you know, and what kind of message are you sending to the remaining of the fans that you're not holding up your promises? You're trying to squeeze out as much money as possible, but legally, if there's a contract, there's a gentleman's agreement, you tend to have the losing hand as a president. Of course, you know that you have an asset and you know that you can squeeze out as much money as possible. So big up. This has been the fan reaction, and I can now only say one thing. I cannot speak, I cannot breathe, and a lot of things comes down to the domino effect. We're going to talk about the gentleman's agreement and the 55 plus 5 add-ons, or 10 add-ons, meaning 55 million pounds. That was agreed, and I'm going to display how it was agreed as well. Now, of course, where does this stem from? And is this transfer in danger? Is he on strike? What a lot of people say. No, he's pretty much on holiday, and his agent is dealing with it. But today's been one shitstorm after another, pardon my French. You know, it's been so much spin going around, so I feel like, wow, I'm getting myself dizzy. Even the information that I have, and corroborating with other tier 1 journalists and the sporting agents itself to see what's going on here, right? But it's simply, in my opinion and my understanding, a negotiations tactic from Sporting to get more money out of the deal. I'm going to tell you why. So let's start with the root cause analysis, how it all began and how it all started as per the timeline. Okay, so this basically started by a tweet from a Saudi Arabian account that's got 21,000 followers and has a profile picture of Sir Alex Ferguson, to start to saying, like, you know, this came out from a Saudi journalist that, you know, he reported that basically the president said, I won't be blackmailed and insulted, and the agent cannot come, and I will not accept 60 plus 10 add-ons. We never had agreement on that XYZ. But that started the whole thing. That pretty much started the whole thing. So usually what happens is domino effects. Like, you know, they pick up a story from one thing and everyone's starting to sort of copy and paste, use ChatGPT and saying, I know this, I know that. But really, where did it actually come from? If you actually do proper journalism and dig deeper, this comes original story actually comes from another social media account, which is an influencer account called X1 Star Rising Stars. X1 Rising Stars. That also says Sporting will not accept it. So basically, this faceless Saudi Arabian account stole this tweet. And by the way, that first said there's no substance to it. They have no credibility. They're no a tier one journalistic outlet. You know, they came from a social media influence account called Rising Stars X1. You can see here on the screen. Now, calma, police, is what I said. Let me explain what is going on from my perspective, from what I've been told, and from reading what everything is going on. And we see a lot of YouTube neighboring channels jumping on the gun and say, oh my God, panic is forcing the move X, Y, Z. Oh my God, we're gonna be outbid X, Y, Z until I have to come out and put the fires out. And this I'm very proud of, because I saw that other sensible journalists also, including Fabrizio Romano, came and nipped it in the bud. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Now, Fabrizio Romano was saying that if we add this to the stage, Fabrizio Romano was saying that according to then, the United States, saying there was a pact with Viktor Gyökeres' agent and Sporting since last summer to accept a transfer fee on 65 million plus add-ons this summer, which, translates to 55 million pounds. However, they now want more, not 100 million, but more than 65 million. The situation is now tense, according to Fabrizio Romano. Do you feel me? So instantly, Fabrizio Romano comes in and sort of kills it. But before Fabrizio, Mick did some research, Mick did some calls, Mick did some putting down fires on Twitter. So I basically tweeted this out, and basically I give you the information that I have. So stay calm and avoid caught up in the speculations. This is the transfer window silly season, with numerous speculation reports claiming Frederico Varandas, which is the president, is demanding 80 to 100 million. However, the original legally documented agreement signed between former Sporting director Hugo Vienna. He's no longer with with Sporting. He's now the Sporting director with Manchester City. So Hugo Vienna and the agent of Viktor Gyökeres, Hassan Sentiaka, set the release clause on 55 million plus 10 add-ons for a specific clubs in the Premier League that could include in that. The remaining of that, it is pretty much 80 million for clubs outside. That's not part of that list. This agreement remains in effect, and Frederico Veranda, the new or not the new Sporting director, I said, I was too upset. Actually, the president is attempting to secure a higher bid, but doesn't really have the leverage. So what does this mean? Yeah. In legal terms, how does it mean in the sporting world? You can document this as an ad hoc, right, into the contract. You can also record this. A verbal agreement and recorded agreement is equally as it's been written down in the contract. But as a agent, you make sure that you take care of your player's best interest. So you make sure that it's well documented. Now, what's going on here, in my opinion, 100%, this is simply the president of Sporting Lisbon expected a bidding war, saying that he scored more than 65 goals, is the best goal scorer in Europe. We know that. But he expected a bidding war. But what he didn't expect was the gentleman's agreement that Viktor Gyökeres picked Ruben Amorim. And Ruben Amorim, that when he left Sporting, he said, there's one player I want, and that's Viktor Gyökeres. Now, of course, they took that with a pinch of salt, even if that agreement is in place, and thought that, well, come summer, he's going to leave. And he announced his goodbye already. So basically, he's already forced to move. So he basically said, I'm leaving, I'm going for a new club, and you guys sort it out. I'm on holiday at the moment. So his agent is currently doing the talk. And this is, in my opinion, both parties are using media as an intermediate to throw pies on each other. At the end of the day, we do understand that Sporting sees him as a valuable asset. They did expect to get more. They wanted to create more bidding. And then we see Juventus and Al Hilal are showing interest. But they keep forgetting one single thing. They can't simply force the player to go to Juventus or Al Hilal. It is the player that holds the power wherever the player wants to go. That is where the cookie crumbles. That's the end of the story. And plus, you don't have the leverage if you have a legal litigation against you. So you can't really force a player to stay at the club if you're forcing a move. In matter of fact, 9 out of 10, that actually reduces the price. So that works in Manchester United's favor instead of increasing the price. So Fabrizio Romano said, it ain't going to be 100 million, it ain't going to be, 80 million. It's going to be 70 million plus add-ons. And this is what we've been saying. This is negotiations one-on-one going on, throwing your dirty linen out in the public. How do I know this? Of course, I've been in the industry for over 5 years. I've seen this happening all the time. It happens. And it's normal practice that, agents and clubs utilizing media as the intermediate mouthpieces to throw pies on each other. But at the end of the day, they sit down at a negotiation table and they come down to the price that meets both parties in the middle, right? Man United would never trigger the 55 million release clause. They always would be adding on 5, 6, 7 million extra in order to negotiate amortization, 3-4 installments. So karma, police. I hope this video helps, and let me know what you think. I understand that a lot of people were spun dizzy, including myself, because there was a lot of pieces to follow. But one phone call away, 3 phone calls away, and clarity from Fabrizio Romano definitely makes us calm. Another one, shout out to Transfer Dan as well, that kept it real today as well. He also said the same thing what we were saying as well. 70 million is what they're aiming for, and 70 million is what Manchester United are willing to offer. Like, I want to share this Fabrizio Romano tweet again, and basically this came from United Stand, that's now, by the way, reporting that I can't breathe, I can't laugh, that all of a sudden there was some report from CNN Portugal, which is not really a credible sources, and they're good on reporting on world news and geopolitics, to say all of a sudden that, rumor speculations that Gyökeres picked up the phone and was angry and upset with the president. All right. So listen, it is what it is. But now I see Goldbridge is now also reporting that his agent is now talking Arsenal, according to another report. That is the domino effect that keeps coming today. Guys, as per se, this is the transfer window. This is what you love to hate, but do expect this to happen. You've seen the script before, but however, I do want to hear your thoughts and feeling at the end of the day. As we can see here, if we add on to the stage, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano as well. Let me do this. Let me add this. And this was Fabrizio Romano via YouTube, that there was a pact between Viktor Gyökeres and agents and Sporting since last summer to accept the transfer fee of 65 million plus add-ons. Now, I just added reply to that with a little bit of a substance to say that, listen, yes, that is correct, but stay calm, because this was negotiated between Hugo Viana and his agent Hassan Sentiaka. The release clause on 55 million for certain players and clubs. Actually, certain clubs. Sorry for that. So, guys, at the end of the day, this is a war. This is pretty much the president with the losing hand trying to sort of increase a bidding war, but he ain't gonna last. You will see, ain't gonna last. Specifically, if the player is forcing a move, you don't want to keep a player that's unhappy. And usually that happens with Garnacho as well. The price has gone down instead of increasing. So that is a crisis. I do expect this to remain ongoing. The deal is not outpriced. Manchester United are still in for it, is what I've been told as well. So guys, keep calm and let me know your thoughts and feelings. I know there was a lot of information to get out of my chest, but I just had to. I couldn't do a live stream as I was just putting out fires and receiving calls and DMs and everything else. So anyway, this is how it stands at the moment. Things might change, but keep your eyes on what the Beacon of Transfer is saying when he says it. The Don himself, Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein. Yes, you can listen to other faceless accounts, but ask yourself the correct questions. Where is the information coming from? And do they actually do the fact check and research, or did they just jump the gun and just use ChatGPT to retweet? Big question. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and see you to the next one. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Peace, love, and go bananas. I'm out of here. Peace.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.
Stay calm. It's only silly season.